Hello, beautiful people. I hope all is well. I hope all is well. So I just jumped off from a major interview and I got my makeup done for it. And I said, I might have to share this with my community. I just can't have this beat by Rima Beats in Brooklyn, New York and not share it with the world. So I decided to join now this evening to do a quick live stream to answer some questions around dating in person. So if you've been checking out my content, you are aware that I talk a lot and I promote the opportunity for folks to use dating apps to meet people. We're in 2021. We want to use dating apps because we use the internet and we use apps for everything. So we should definitely use that. However, that does not undermine the value of meeting people in person. So today's conversation is around where I can meet men in my city. Well, it's in your voice because I'm not meeting no men in my city, but where you can meet men in your city. Thank you for everyone who is telling me I look beautiful. Welcome, Vaughn. Hello, Mary. I hope I got that right. Hi, Mary. I am Mary. Thank you, Faith. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Hi, Tay. Hello. Is it Caroliz? I hope I got that right. Yolanda, Crystal, welcome, welcome. Too Pretty Brittany, thank you. It's the makeup girl. I mean, I got the DNA, but it's the makeup. Thank you for everybody joining. I really appreciate it. If you are new to my page, my name is Alison. I am a certified dating and relationship coach, and I primarily work with singles to help them find the love and commitment that they deserve. If you are new to my page, I want you to please let me know who you are and where you're from so that we can appropriately welcome you to the land of love. And if you would like to receive alerts on when I go live, they've taken the short codes away, beautiful people. They are slowly but surely taking away the short codes. So I had to transition to a real phone number, and I'm going to try to get this right. I'm going to put it in the comments, 888-900-5447. So you're going to text the word align, ALIGN, to 888. Oh, crap, I messed that up. Because somebody fix it for me. 888-99. Oh, crap, I'm going to have to look this up. If there's anybody here who I've been texting for the last week and you know the number, can you put it in there for me? Because that would help me out significantly. Hi, April from Atlanta, Georgia. Hello, Patty from Maryland. We have Bree from Suffolk, Virginia. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. We have, is it Shanta? I hope I got that right. From Southern Virginia. Hey, my Virginia people, I'm going to be in Virginia on April 29th. Somebody look at the calendar and tell me what weekend that is, the last weekend in April. I am going to be there speaking at an event. So I want you to go ahead and click the link in my bio and check that out so you can see, and maybe you can come see me because I'm going to be in Virginia. So come see me. Stop playing. Thank you. 888-900-5447, 888-900-5447. You text the word align. It is absolutely free, and I'm going to text you when I go live. I'll text you when I find cool articles about dating and relationships. I don't OD. Trust me, text messaging is mad expensive. So side note, if you don't want text messages from people, text the word stop because it costs a lot of money. Hi, Blessed Aries from Long Island. All right, beautiful people. Oh, Tay is from Virginia too. Yes, come see me in Virginia. I'm going to be speaking the last weekend in April. It's called the 2222 Women's Tour. It is only for Black women. Only for Black women. There are going to be 12 coaches in all facets. It's going to be in Virginia Beach. In all facets of life. I'm obviously talking about the relationship stuff. So come and see me. You could check out my page. You could click the link in my bio and scroll all the way to the bottom. And it has a link for the event. And you can read all about the event. It's a 3-day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can choose to come on individual day. Or you can come for the whole weekend. Girl, Bree, you got to find somebody who's going to fly me out. I want to come to Baton Rouge. I want to travel the country. I want to talk. All right. So that's where I am going to be. Welcome, sweet, from Atlanta. All right. So I know that there are gentlemen who are joining. This conversation is talking to the ladies or gentlemen who date gentlemen of where you can meet men in your city in person. So again, you guys know what I do. A lot of my content is around online dating, but it's only because a lot of folks don't like to do online dating. So I'm trying to push y'all in that direction but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to talk about where to meet people in your city. Yes, Bree, work on it for me. Find somebody. Dave the Great, find somebody in DC or Maryland, a podcast, an event, a speaking engagement, and have them invite me, and I'm definitely going to come. I was just in Ohio. No shade to Ohio, but, I could come to DC. I could come to Atlanta. All right, so where do you meet men? And if there are any gentlemen on here and you want to stay, please stay, because maybe you can give us some more insight of something that I'm missing or I'm lacking. Okay, so this is some tea. Like, this is the stuff that people pay thousands of dollars to work with me in my coaching program. So you're getting the inside information. Okay, so where do you meet men in your city? I have a 3-pronged system, a 3-tier system, and this is the way that I describe it to my coaching clients of where you can meet men in your city. Now, the quality of said men we are going to get into. Oh no, I missed you the Ohio event was a closed event, so don't worry about it, girl. But the quality of the men we're going to get into, because it's up to you. It's up to you to verify their quality, their value, their worth. And I'm using that terminology not as worth as human beings, because we're all worthy as human beings. What I really mean is it's up for you to determine whether or not they're an appropriate match for you. Okay? It's up to you to determine if they're an appropriate match to you. I'm telling you where they are. We'll talk about how you determine if they're an appropriate match, and then you got to do that work. Okay? So there's a 3-pronged approach, a 3-pronged system, a 3-tier system that I advise my clients on where to meet people in person. Okay? So the lowest level, the low-lying fruit, right? Like the easy pickings is going to be any space that has food and drink. That's the easy one. Y'all know that off the top of your heads, right? So it's going to be any brunch. It's going to be any bar. It's going to be any social event whatsoever. It's going to be somebody else's baby shower, not the person who's having the baby, right? Or the people who's having the baby. It's going to be somebody else's family reunions. It's going to be the game nights. That's the low-lying fruit. So we are talking about meeting people in person. There is a 3-tier approach that I recommend for my clients. And the bottom is going to be the low-lying fruit. It's going to be any place that has food and drinks. Any place that has food and drinks whatsoever. That's where people are going to be, both men and women, gay, straight, young and old. Okay? That's the easiest. That's what you should be doing or going to or attending or participating in every single weekend, because it is extremely easy to participate. You can go for a happy hour. You can go out with your friends. You can do anything like that. Thank you for taking notes. Any brunch, any bar, any social event that is going to be low-lying fruit. That's going to be the bottom of the barrel. Not bottom of the barrel human beings, but just the easiest way to meet people. Okay? Lowest tier. Good. Tier 2. Tier 2 of where you can meet men or people, but we're talking about men primarily, in your city is going to be events that are usually targeted towards men. So what does that look like? That looks something along the lines of sporting events, right? So that can be college ball. It could be high school ball. It could be college ball, and any ball, right? Football, basketball, anything of the sort. If you are going to a cigar bar, okay, that's going to be a social place. So it's almost like the lowest tier, but it has a connotation of places where men tend to go, okay? We're talking about car shows. We're talking about events that are usually dominated with more men than women, or spaces that are normally dominated with more men or women. We're talking about the gym. We're talking about playing pool. We're talking about mini golf. We're talking about spaces that are normally inhabited by more men than women. So again, to review, if anybody who is just joining, my name is Alison. I am a certified dating and relationship coach. I primarily work with singles to help them find the love and commitment that they deserve. We are talking about where to meet men, and in some cases where to meet people. So you would just have to, I'm going to say he and him and a lot, so you got to flip it for whatever gender you're interested in, where to meet people in your city. So the bottom of the tier, not quality, but just easy peasy, is going to be any place that serves food and drinks. So the bar, the brunch, social events, game nights, things of that nature, okay? Then our next level is going to be the sporting events. It's going to be any event that's targeted towards men. Thank you so much, Kay Bree, for these notes. This is so helpful because this is off the top. Car shows, pool halls, any cigar bars. If you can take it. If you got asthma, like, come on, right? If you can take it, you need to go. The gym, games. This is where you need to go, right? We're talking about in person today. Too Pretty Brittany, I talk about online all the time. So today I'm going to indulge with my people who do not like online dating, and we're talking about in person, okay? So that's going to be tier 2. It's going to be events related to, or spaces related to events that men tend to appreciate. The auto show, I know, like in New York, I'm sure they travel across the country, but every Easter week, we always have a traveling auto show. So events of that nature, okay? Yes, shooting range, I see that the realtor says. Yes, we mentioned the cigar bars. Thank you so much for those notes. It's going to be charity events around male-dominated, and I use the term loosely because, of course, many of us are women who might like cigar bars, or we might like pool or what have you. But any charity event that is going to be around usually male-dominated topics or subjects or interests, that's going to be tier 2. I like to live in tier 2. I like my clients to live in tier 2 because it's the most practical, right? It's not too easy breezy where there's lots of competition. So you have less competition because by default, you're going to have more men and less women. And as a woman, I know this is not going to be nice to say, but if there's less women, that means there's less competition. That means you look prettier. You could definitely look prettier than the guy next to you, right? So you're going to have a leg up because then the ratio is going to be in your favor. Okay, so the second tier is a nice place I like to live. I like to encourage my clients to do that once a week if possible, maybe every other week, because I understand that there may be more investment, more time. It's not as easy to find those types of events as the low-lying fruit of any social space. Okay, so that's tier 2. We got tier 2, we got tier 2, we got tier 2. Special shout out to Rima Beats. She is a makeup extraordinaire here in Brooklyn, New York. She is the one who glamifies me for an interview today. And I said, I cannot let this go. Like, it's sad enough that it's 72 degrees in New York and I can't go out because it's about to rain. So at least I'm going to go live and I'm going to give y'all some tea, some inside gems that I only drop to my paying customers who literally pay thousands of dollars for me to handhold them through the dating process. You getting this for free. I need you to go ahead and share this with a friend because this is the come up of all come ups today. Okay? All right, so we have tier 1, low-lying fruit, any social event, any place that has food, especially alcohol, the bars, all that kind of good stuff. We got through that. Yes, absolutely, I'm going to save every live. I always do. Then we have tier 2. That's where I like my clients to live because it's still going to be a social event of some sort. It's going to be the auto show. It's going to be the basketball game. It's going to be the football game. It's going to be a social event. But you're going to have more men than women. So then by default, those women are standing out and you have more choices and more options, right? That's tier 2. Let's talk about tier 3. So tier 3 is an amazing place to be, but it may not be as frequent to attend and it's going to probably be more expensive for you. So I'll say it again. Tier 3 is probably not going to be a place that you're going to live frequently. You're not going to be going every weekend. You're probably not going to go every other weekend, right? But it's an amazing place to be because it's tier 3. It's the highest tier, right? Tier 3 is going to be the types of spaces that are male dominated, similar to tier 2, but cost to invest in. That's going to be your membership clubs. That's going to be your country clubs. That's going to be any spaces that require an investment to be a part of said community. And then by default, when you're a part of those spaces, you're then invited to exclusive events where you're meeting what some may call higher caliber people. Some may call, okay? So this is going to be a more elite space, but you're going to have to pay hundreds or thousands of dollars to be members of spaces like this. This is going to be, and for those who may not be in a position to invest hundreds or thousands, right? Another option that's also in tier 3 is going to be spaces that are like conferences. Conference type spaces are amazing. And let me tell you about the value of conferences. And again, remember, we are talking about, if possible, we want to combine the two. We want to do exclusive elite spaces, right? Country clubs, things of that nature, as well as those spaces perhaps being male dominated. So what does this look like? This looks like, so the male dominated piece. If we're talking about a conference, we're talking about a cryptocurrency conference. We're talking about a real estate conference. We're talking about a live podcast recording event for a podcast that talks about investment, that talks about crypto, that talks about the tech industry. Why is this so valuable? This is valuable because, one, you're going to have more men than women. So what do we talk about? Competition. I'm automatically prettier than all of the men who are standing next to me, right? So less competition. And then these are the types of men who are prepared to invest in themselves. These are the types of men who want to grow and develop professionally or personally. These are the types of men who are prepared to pay the cost, to be the boss, to be around bosses, to learn, to grow, to develop. So tier 3 is really the most attractive place that you want to be. These are going to be your conferences. These are going to be your, I just read a comment that distracted me. I'm going to get back to that in 1 second. It's going to be your conferences. It's going to be spaces that are usually considered elite or members only, right? But again, you want a partner who pays the cost to be the boss. That means you need to pay the cost to be the boss, to be around them in those kinds of spaces. And being in the physical space, and they invite you to events, right? Outside of that, where you can meet and you can converse and you can get to know and you can network professionally, but what we're talking about here is personally. So again, if you are just joining my live, my name is Alison. I am a certified dating and relationship coach. I primarily work with singles to help them find the love and commitment that they deserve. We are talking about where you can meet men in your city. I just shared some gems that I only drop exclusively in my group and my one-on-one programs. These ladies, mostly ladies, I had 2 gentlemen so far, have paid thousands of dollars to work with me so that I could walk them hand in hand through this dating process, because they've realized that clearly they don't have the answers. They believe that I do. And so they need my expertise to get to the result. And if you've checked out my stories, which I think there should still be up there right now, I post my testimonials. I have a whole testimonial, like, what do you call it, highlight thing. Check it out. You see the results that I get. And I just went through the 3 tiers that I offer to my clients as to where to meet men in your city. Okay? Where are these events? Guy who took a hit. Google it. Right? So you're going to Google conferences in my city, upcoming events. You're going to follow the pages that, like, there's, for instance, in New York, there's a page called secret.nyc. I follow that page so I can know about the events that are occurring. I'm going to go on Eventbrite and I'm going to ask for alerts so that, the name is fine. So that I can get alerts on when of the events that I'm interested in, and they have you check off what types of events you're interested in, right? You can go into Eventbrite and you'll get those kinds of alerts. You do have to put in some work. You do have to put in some work. But what's more important? Is it more important that you think that this is a Disney movie that love is going to fall into your lap, or you put in the effort to find the partner you deserve so that you can have a happy and fulfilling romantic life moving forward? Google it, Eventbrite, Instagram, hashtags, follow the pages that have those interests, right? Ooh, let me tell you one quick point. One quick point in regards to conferences. I don't want you to pay for conferences with topics that you absolutely have no interest in whatsoever. Because what you're going to say is, Alison, you owe me $100 because I went to this conference about real estate and I don't give 2 nothings about real estate and I didn't meet any guys. Absolutely not. The answer is no. The answer is you need to book a session so I can help you. You're going to give me more money, right? I need you to go to these places that you kind of already have an interest. I love real estate. I love looking at renovations. I watch HGTV all day. I listen to EYL. I watch Rants and Gems. Like I care about real estate. So if I were a single person who paid for a conference because Alison told me to find a single man, right? Or to find a man and then I have to assess. We're going to get to assessment in a moment. If I paid to go to find a guy because Alison told me to and I didn't meet anybody, I don't care because I like real estate anyway. So this was a win for me anyway. I got market updates on where to invest. Are we going to Cleveland? Are we going to Baltimore? Like where are we investing? Like it's a win for me regardless. Does that make sense? So I don't want you go out here spending money on things that you have no interest in whatsoever. You need to have something so that it's no loss to you if you don't knock them dead the first time out. Okay? Okay. Color Me Barb says, true, I have my real estate license, so it was right up my alley. I definitely didn't waste money. Yeah. And if you're in the real estate space as a woman, you're already going to be around tons of men. You need to use that opportunity and not necessarily dating people in your office, but if you're a real estate agent and you meet a contractor on the job, you're a real estate agent and you meet, somebody who's in underwriting, right? Like, excuse me, guys, you need to make an effort to engage. Does that make sense? So now that we have the spaces, now that I've outlined the spaces, you know where to go. Let's talk about discernment. Because I did not say that all the men at the conferences are going to be good men or good matches for you. I did not say that all the men at playing pool and at the cigar bar are going to be single and available or even straight. I did not say that. I said there were men there. That's what I said, right? So now you have to assess whether or not the gentlemen that you meet at these spaces are an appropriate match for you. How do you figure it out? So the first thing I teach my clients, literally the first thing that I teach my clients is that they need to get clear on exactly what they're looking for in a partner and a partnership. This is before you get dressed. This is before you order a new pair of shoes. This is before you go on Eventbrite, like Alison said, and look up what the events are in your city that's coming up this season so you know where to go. You need to be clear on exactly what you're looking for in a partner and in a partnership. If you don't have a clear vision as to what you want, because what you want, what Des wants, what Key Desire wants, what Quiet Storm wants, and what Alison wants are all different things based on our own experiences, our own culture, our own goals. They all vary. So I have people who ask me all the time, well, Alison, what are your relationship goals? I mean, I can share them with you, but they might not be your values. What are your non-negotiables? I can share them with you, but they're not going to be your non-negotiables, right? So you need to decide where your values are, what are musts for you, what are non-negotiables for you when looking for a partner. What behaviors and traits must your partner have in order for you to consider them a partner? So I guess I should say, what behaviors and traits should your potential partner have? Thank you, Siobhan. Before you can even consider dating them. And then from dating, commitment. From commitment to potential engagement. From engagement to potentially walking down the aisle if that's your cup of tea. Right? We need a clear vision on that. When you have a list, like an actual paper to pen list of what you're looking for in a partner, you now need a list of what you're looking for in that partnership. Because the partner is the human being. Their behavior, their characteristics, their values, right? The relationship is how the two of you function together. So if you guys have ever heard what people talk about, like I found the right person at the wrong time. The right person is the partner. The wrong time would be the relationship for whatever reason. This person is in the military. You can't make it work. This person just started medical school. They're overwhelmed. They're not in a position to really invest. Whatever the circumstances may be, right person, wrong time. So it can't only be right person. We also have to make an effort to be super clear before we go on any dating app, before we go out at any place that Alison just told y'all to go. And I will be saving this live, so do not worry if you're just joining us. Before you do that, you need a clear vision as to what you want out of a partner and a partnership. Now that we have the clear vision as to what you want out of a partner and a partnership, now we can get onto the dating scene. Now we can start going to the places that Alison just listed for you. Now you can start creating your dating profile because the vision is there. I say this every day, and I apologize for those who hear this every day, but it's so important. I think it's the best example of all time. When you have this clear vision as to what you want out of a partner and a partnership, that is the equivalent of having Waze or Google Maps before you get in the car to drive to a destination you've never been to. I would never get into my car and just drive willy-nilly, especially with gas prices. But even before this whole situation. I'm not driving willy-nilly. I need to put in my navigation where I'm going, what is the address, and I'm not pulling off until I have it, right? Because that is going to tell me how to avoid, and especially if you got Waze, I'm going to avoid all the wrong turns. I'm going to avoid all the wrong exits. I'm going to avoid potholes. I'm going to avoid the cameras catching me speeding. I'm going to avoid the cops. I need to avoid any kind of roadblocks that makes my travel difficult. I need a clear vision of how to get from Canarsie, Brooklyn to, shit, I almost shut my iPad. From Canarsie, Brooklyn to wherever hell I'm going in Jersey, Connecticut, even Queens, because Queens, if you're from Queens, be offended because I don't like y'all place, right? I'm not going unless there's a clear vision. So how can you go on a dating app, or how can you purposely go out socially to meet people and you don't know what you're looking for in a partner? So what you going up and saying to them? How are you qualifying them? The only thing I can imagine is you're qualifying them based on their looks and maybe their physique and maybe what they have on, or their jewelry, or their suit, or their dress, or what have you, right? I need to have a clear vision. Because how am I going to qualify this person to say, I think this is a good match for me, other than the initial appearance, which is obvious, right? We have eyes, right? So after that, then what? So that's number one. I got a list of what I'm looking for in a partner. I have a list of what I'm looking for in a partnership. That's where the qualifications begin. That's where the line of questioning begins. And we're not doing like we're not shooting off at the hip, just asking a myriad of questions to overwhelm people, because that's unattractive too. Dating is data. I always say that. We're collecting data, but we should be doing it in a fun way. We're doing it in a fun way. So we're not just overwhelming people and interviewing them and then asking, what do you bring to the table? I don't even know you. I don't know what you need yet to be able to really answer that question. Let's take it slow. I'm asking questions about your childhood. I'm asking questions, what do you do for fun? What do you do for a living? These are what's your lifestyle like, right? Exercise, you're a big diet person. Those are the questions I'm asking at first to get to know you, then you build thereafter. But again, how can I even know my line of questioning if I'm not clear on exactly what I'm looking for in a partner in the first place? That cannot work. It will not work. It cannot work. It cannot work. It will not work. It cannot work. That's where you get your discernment. That's how you know what questions to ask. That's how you assess whether or not someone's an appropriate match. And you keep asking. And you got to be a little strategic. And this is in an effort to protect yourself. And if you guys have heard me, you know I'm not crazy about building up this huge wall that, he got to prove himself. No. He has to be himself. And you have to decide whether or not it's a good match. She has to be herself. It's no one's responsibility to prove to you their worth. Your responsibility is to assess whether or not you think they're an appropriate match for you, aka their worth. I'm not really crazy about that term because it makes it seem like us as human beings are not worthy by default. We're all worthy by default, right? It's up to you to assess that. Does that make sense, beautiful people? My Instagram is flashing. I hope that y'all can hear me and all that kind of good stuff, okay? So, we know what we want out of a partner. We know what we want out of a partnership. You have listened to Alison tirelessly tell you what dating apps you should be looking into for you and your city. And if you don't know, you need to book a session because I'm not answering that right now, right? I've told you where to go. You are super clear, right? Good. Now that you are super clear on what you want and you know what questions you're asking to assess over time whether or not someone is an appropriate match for you, you also need to do some reflecting on making sure that you are showing up as the best version of you. This does not mean that you're showing up as how they want you to show up. The best version of you. The best version of you. So you need to look good, right? We talked about those membership clubs, those conferences, you need to look good. Whatever look good means to you. You need to feel good. You need to smell good, right? You need to put your best foot forward. If you know that you're going out that night and you're putting on rinky-dink clothes, you are putting out a message that I don't want to be approached. Then you're surprised when you're not approached. You have to put up your best foot forward. That's the outside. Internally, that's harder. Because anybody could buy some clothes. You go to the mall, you order or go online. Internally, what kind of work are you putting in to become a better version of you? Are you honestly reflective on where you went wrong in your former relationships? Are you? Do you take responsibility for the mistakes that you made? Or is it always, it's him, it's him, it's him, it's her, it's her, it's her? Right? Is it always everybody else's fault and nobody else's fault? Right? If you don't have the ability to be that intuitive, because everyone doesn't have it, right? Are you listening to podcasts, reading books, If you still don't have it, are you looking into therapy? Are you talking to a coach? What efforts are you putting into becoming a better version of you? Because we have a laundry list of what he must have. But where is the laundry list of what I must do to become a better version of me? Because guess what? You think that the pool is full of pee, or whatever the expression is when it comes to dating, right? Or maybe those quality men are walking right past you because you are undesirable to them. Because you are problematic. Because you come across as angry, and nobody wants to be around a negative Nancy or a negative Nathan. You're on your profile, you're putting in your stories a whole bunch of negative stuff. You're sharing all the negative content. You're in comments and you're arguing with people left and right. Carrying on, making a scene, right? Every post is some joke. Oh, I'm just joking. No, you're not joking. People believe what they see, whether or not they should. Oh, Instagram's a lie. They're going to believe what you portray. That's what they're going to believe to be the truth. Your words, your beliefs, your actions. Would that quality man want you the way that you present right now? And I'm not even talking about externally. I wouldn't. I don't want to be around no negative girl, even if I'm not negative. Like, I know that I'm a good person, and then you're talking about, things. So then by default, you're saying I'm not, right? Which is problematic. We have to be mindful of our words and our actions, our behaviors. We have to be mindful of what we put out into the universe. What you put out is what you get back, beautiful people. Beautiful people. I tell this story and I tell it all the time. When I was with the gentleman that I was with before my husband, I was with him for 4 years, and he was either unwilling or unable to commit. I don't know, and I really don't care, but that's what I wanted from him, and he didn't deliver, right? But then, let's be honest, there was some behaviors about me that were undesirable, and perhaps he didn't want to be linked to me for the rest of his life. Maybe he had the insight. We think that we're geniuses. I have a bachelor's degree in education. I have a master's degree in counseling. I have a master's degree extension in mental health counseling, which is what I was actively studying when I was with him. And I'm a certified dating and relationship coach. I got all the answers. Nobody can tell me nothing. I'm from Brooklyn. You can't tell me nothing. I'm West Indian. You can't tell us nothing. I'm a Libra. You can't tell me nothing. I'm beautiful. You can't tell me nothing. Maybe he had the insight to say, she's too problematic for me. Whether or not he's right or wrong. In this case, he was right, because I'm glad. Whether he was right or wrong. Maybe he had the insight to say this wasn't going to work. Would have been nice if he would have just deaded me, but that's besides the point. Maybe he had the insight. Maybe he saved me. We like to think that every loss is a loss. Sometimes it's a gain. Sometimes it's an opportunity for you to open doors that you would have never been able to access. You got fired, F that job. You're going to find a better job. You're going to invest more into your entrepreneurship. Your business is going to blow up. He don't want you. She don't want you. F them at first. And then it's some reflection on what you did. But F them initially. Move on. Start dating again. And if you need help, stop being cheapskates and find someone who aligns with your belief system, who you believe can help you. Try on your own. That doesn't work. Podcasts and books and YouTube. I don't have enough fingers for this. That doesn't work. Hire somebody. That works after you vetted them. Okay? Beautiful people, I want to give a special shout out to those who purchased a badge. I love and appreciate you. I am... Gosh, you held me down. Mary. Oh, Lord Jesus. I am Mary Rayner. Thank you for purchasing a badge. Tay, thank you for purchasing a badge. I am Miss Vaughn. You are the best. Thank you. And DJ Mashariki, thank you for purchasing a badge. You're probably surprised on why I couldn't read the word Mary, but I could read the word Mashariki. I had a math teacher who was amazing in high school named Miss Mashariki. So, beautiful people, I am going to go ahead and save this live. I want you to share with anyone who you think can benefit. We're talking about where you can meet men in your city. For those who were on the live earlier, you heard me talk about I am going to be in Virginia at the end of April, so I want you to check out my page. I also want you to click the link in my bio and scroll to the bottom. You're going to see all the details of that event. You need to come see me live. The mask mandate has lifted in New York City. There is no reason why we're not seeing each other, why we're not engaging with each other, where we can't hug each other, where we can't love each other, and we can't pour into each other. Come out. Stop playing. And yes, I'm going to answer this question. Virgo lives free. This is the second time you said that. I am only in the business of speaking to people who want to converse and not shut down other folks' arguments. Right? I would love to have conversations, even if they're the absolute opposite of my own opinion. But what I will not engage in is someone who wants to shut me up and shut me down because they disagree. I am not a fan, and I'm not going to sign myself up for disrespect. So I don't believe that conversation would ever happen, but that is A-okay. To answer my good friend Malik's in the streets, absolutely not, Malika. I had an interview today, so I paid to get my makeup done professionally by Rima Beats in Brooklyn, and she is amazing balls, okay? If you'd like to purchase a badge, you can do so by clicking. There should be like a button at the bottom. But no worries, catch me on the, I was going to catch you on the replay, but catch me next time, and you can support in that regard. All right, beautiful people, I'm going to prepare some dinner. I love y'all. Take this info, use it, stop playing, get your love life together. Have a good one. Bye.